We're live. Okay, guys, this is Jennifer Fishkind of Princess Pinky Girl. And I first actually saw her Pinterest boards before she even had a blog.
Really?
Yes, I followed you like way back in the day.
Awesome.
So you actually started with Pinterest, became huge over there, and then started a blog, which then of course also became huge. And today you're solidly a moolah, bringing in the moolah. And I'm still not big on Pinterest, even though I was there before you. So I would love to learn what your tips on how to use that platform.
Great.
So I guess I told a little bit of your story. Do you want to tell your story too, or you're good?
Whatever you want. I mean, I was on Pinterest when you still had to get an invitation and wait, to be invited. And when I was planning my son's bar mitzvah when he was 13, and he was doing a camp theme bar mitzvah, and so there was a lot of rustic decor that I was doing and all that. And there was, at that time is when rustic weddings really started taking off. So that board got highlighted, and it was actually called Jake's Bar Mitzvah board. And
it went to weddings. That's awesome.
Now it's called Want, Need, Love, which is kind of my melting pot of all things that I like and love and want to try at some point. So what's great about it is that it isn't very specific to one thing. It's not just recipes. It's not just DIY. It's very, it's very diverse, which is very beneficial to me for my work, because that's my big board. So I have one very big board, which is about 3.6 million followers. And then my other boards are somewhere, I don't even know where they're at right now. I want to say maybe 150,000. I don't know. I have to go on and look. They all kind of, and actually I've seen very good growth on those in the last probably 4 or 5 months, where they were just kind of stopped for a really long time. And my board for a couple years, my big one had been going down in followers until probably April. And then it started to have an uptick, and it's been growing ever since again. So I think that had probably around the times that they were messing with the algorithms and making all pinners unhappy, and all bloggers very unhappy. So, my followers are going up, but
well, you've weathered through those storms, and you've weathered through several storms of Pinterest through the years. So you're very in tune with the algorithm there. So I can't wait to hear about that.
Well, I mean, honestly, and Holly Homer said this, and I'm gonna totally copy her right now. Whatever is working well on your site or on your Pinterest or on your Facebook or whatever you're doing, just keep doing that more. And that was the one thing that she told me that's always stuck with me. She told me a lot of things that have stuck with me, but whatever's working, just do more of that.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of what I do, is I see what's working and I do more, and I do a lot more.
So when you say a lot more, how many pins a day do you do?
I average, sorry, we're getting an interruption right now. Okay.
You're fine.
I average on a low day about 60 pins, on a higher day around 120.
Oh my word. Oh, wow. Okay. Here I'm doing my max of 20 pins. So maybe that's why I'm not growing.
Well, again, you have to do what's working for your board. If you're, for me, I use a lot of automated pins. I do a lot of, I use a couple different tools, and we can talk about those tools that I use that keep my board going, even if I'm not physically doing it for that day, which has been great for me, and I've seen great benefit from those. When I was at a meeting last October with Pinterest, and one thing they said was this is the most of the insight, the biggest insight they really gave us to how their algorithms work. But as far as their search tools go, they're looking at active boards. So if your board is inactive, it's not going to rank well. So if you have 100 boards and you're not pinning to them every 2 to 3 days, those boards are falling down in the ranks. So if you're not going to have a board that's active, then don't have a board. Don't start that board.
Smart.
I
Okay.
would like to say I totally abide by that, but I don't. I mean, I have boards that are not nearly as active as the others. But that's where I use some of those tools like a board booster or a tailwind to keep those boards, nice and warm.
Okay. So now you said that we'll get into Tailwind and Board Booster in a second, but you said keeping them active. And what other things do you do to keep a board growing? And that, what do you think to the algorithm? Like, what other things are they looking for?
They're absolutely looking at your descriptions, the descriptions of the pin. They're looking even at the name of the photo, whatever the photo is that you're pinning. You want to make sure that all that stuff is SEO friendly. The name of the title, it's all those SEO things are super important. When their machines or computers are looking at them, they couldn't have focused more at that meeting on SEO. Like, it's so important. So you definitely want to be focusing on those things. Absolutely.
Okay. Now, do you have rich pins set up, or is that something that's a necessary?
I have rich pins. I don't have the recipe rich pins.
Okay.
I think I have the articles. I don't know. We set up so long ago. Honestly, I don't even remember. I mean, everyone, you're going to ask 20 people their opinion on anything with Pinterest, and you're going to get 20 different opinions. And the truth of the matter is no one knows.
Yeah.
Anyone who says that they do is telling you something you don't want to buy, because no one knows. And if they do, it's going to change tomorrow. So that's why it's, I will say staying active for me has been important, is just continually to push out, good content. But also I'm huge on repinning my own good content. So I'm going to pin, the same pin over and over and over and over. And I'll, wait a couple days in between, maybe even a couple weeks or a couple months, you never know, but I'm repinning, and I'm repinning popular pins. So I'm repinning pins that already have good repins behind them, that already have that good Pinterest juice behind them.
Now, that's a question though. How do you know, because they changed their algorithm, which ones are getting pins right now?
And I hate it. I hate the summed up pins. Did I tell you that I hate the summed up pins?
Because I can't tell which ones are doing well from my page.
Well, and the only way I can tell is through Tailwind.
Okay.
And to me, that has been a lifesaver for me. Now, I don't think Tailwind shows every single pin that you pin. At least I don't feel like it shows all of my pins. And I'm not sure exactly which ones it does. I'll have to ask them, because I feel like there's pins like that I know I pinned and they're not showing up in their reports. But I will go and I'll go and look through there, because it does give you, I believe, a somewhat accurate count of ones that are repinning well. And then and I don't know anyone if you use Tailwind or not, but one of the things that I do is I'll go into the pin inspector and I'll sort it by date. So I'll use a little up and down arrow thing, and I'll do it by date. But then I'll also just take pins that are from my website. There's like a little drop down where you can say just from Princess Pinky Girl. Mm-hmm. So I can just see mine, and I'll go and kind of look at those and see which ones are doing well. And those I won't go and click on it so it adds it to my queue. I'll physically go in and repin it, because I think if you add it to the queue, just clicking on their little button that says, schedule repin or whatever, it's making a new pin as opposed to repinning the old one. So I'll click on the picture and then repin from directly and live from that, so that it's getting that Pinterest juice. You can also go into that tool and you can sort it by by the repin number. So you can see what your best repins are, and you can go in and periodically repin. But I've felt, and I have nothing to back this up other than just experience, that the pins that have already done well, repinning those live has been the best. I also do that through the Pinterest analytics as well. I'll go into the back end of Pinterest, into analytics. I'll go look at pins from my website, and I'll look at ones with the most repins, ones with the most clicks, ones with popular of all time, and I'll repin those often as well.
Okay, so you go to, and now do you have the Tailwind? I know they have like a free version and then the $100 and something a month version. Yeah. Which one do you have?
I have the paid version. Okay. And I know that they're working on coming out with one that's more affordable for bloggers, for small, companies, for us. And I've had a lot of discussions with them about that. So that's something that they're working on, because it's such a great tool. But we're like, we can't afford
$100 a month is a little bit much.
It's a little bit much, but I think that the pin inspector is there for in the free version as well, isn't it?
I don't remember. You're saying these things. I do have Tailwind, and I used to have Board Booster, but we had a little problem with my boards being spammed, so I had to take Board Booster down. But that's not Board Booster's fault. It was the way I had set it up's fault. But
I am interested to hear how you had it set up.
Oh, well, I'll have to tell you that another time. But that's not a
Right.
That's a whole can of worms.
Okay.
Bang my head in the wall. Why did I do that? But anyways, y'all, in all of blogging, you make mistakes, and now you have to clean up. So I've actually been cleaning up my boards but since I started cleaning them up, I went from 100,000, which I gained. So like I grew from like 97,000 to like 103 over the course of like a year. It was really, really bad. And then I started cleaning up, and I've boosted. I've grown 50% in 6 months. So
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's been huge for me. That's massive. So now I'm just thinking,
For anyone,
what if I was doing this whole time? Like, what if I was doing the right things?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I moved to live pinning because the tendency of Board Booster to just fill it up and then like walk away and let it spam, kind of the lazy part of me felt too comfortable with that. So
okay, got it.
So anyways, so that's Board. So you do Tailwind and you do the expensive version. Do you also have Board Booster, or do you just do Tailwind?
I have Board Booster and I have Viral Tag.
Viral Tag.
Yeah. And I use them, to me, they all have very, very different purposes.
Okay.
Viral Tag, not as much. Viral Tag is just one of those things that I'm comfortable with. And when I do, like, if I do a roundup post, I find, like, I'll do, I'll schedule all those pins, right, from Viral Tag. Just, again, it's more of a comfort thing. Board Booster means, to me, it's a fix it and forget it, which can be good and bad, depending on, on how much other stuff you do. I supplement it a lot with live pinning. So, I'm getting the benefit of the Board Booster of keeping some boards live. Although I did turn off on Board Booster my looping recently.
That's where I hurt myself, I think.
Yeah, just because I'd heard that from a couple people. So I turned that off. But
Oh, did you disappear?
Okay, sorry, it froze on my end.
It did on my end too. Okay, you're good. You're back.
But I use it for campaigns. I really like that, especially with being collaborative with other bloggers, which I do a lot with, where I might set up, get a group board going with just them, and I'll pin directly from them. So, every couple days, so that it's an automatic thing, and it's pulling popular pins from their their blog Pinterest board.
Yeah.
For me, because it's a lot to remember who I'm pinning for, or things that I'm doing for them. So it's easier for me to set those up and kind of forget them. It's also been great for me for campaigns. Like, I work with eBay, and I want to continue. Like, part of my work with eBay is giving them continual traffic. So I set up a campaign and with all my eBay guides, and I'm pinning from there every day, and not having to think, oh, I got to pin an eBay pin.
Oh yeah, good point.
Which has been really good for me. So that's how I really use Board Booster. But for me, my main go-to honestly has been Tailwind, and I really like their the tribe feature, and they're working really hard to make it right for bloggers.
I started Tribes like 2 weeks ago, and I'm in love.
Yeah, and they just told me they're starting something new there. They're going to have the ability to have chats in there as well with your tribe.
Nice.
So you don't have to be going back and forth on like Facebook or on Skype or anything. You can have everything in one place.
Yeah.
And they've actually tested that with some tribe, and they said if people want it, they can get it. They just have to request it.
Well, I'm currently only in 2 tribes. So if anybody else has a do-it-yourself tribe that listens to this later or anything, I love how easy they are, that I can like pick the ones I want from my friends, and then it shows me.
I don't really know but like what's behind the little number in the corner with the reach, where it shows you like the number.
Okay.
But I like it. I don't know why I like it, because I don't get it, but I do like it.
I know, and I know which ones I'm
comprised of, but I still like, it shows me that something's popular and doing well. But I also like that you can see who's already repinned that. It's kind of cool.
Now, get to talk to them at all, I would love for them to have a feature where you say this person, you know how like for yourself, you see I pinned this many of my own and then there's this many shares. I would love to see that with everyone else in there. That way I know who's actually there and who's mooching. Because
they had that on there and I loved it because I could see, so-and-so isn't doing it. So
I know.
If she's not in, fine, I'm not going to pin her stuff,
Like, not a problem, not personal. Or like write her a note and say, hey, are you on vacation this week? And I just didn't notice it,
Well, they took it off. I think they got a bunch of complaints about it.
Really? Oh.
So, I mean, listen, the people who are probably complaining are the ones who weren't doing it. I loved it. I loved it. And it keeps you honest. It keeps you saying, okay, I didn't do my part this week. I have to go do it,
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I was a fan, but they took it out.
Bummer. Okay, they didn't ask me, so.
It would be great if they had it as an option for the tribe to decide if they wanted it or not.
I know it would be. It would be.
That. They also do have an Instagram thing now too, where you can schedule through Instagram, but I haven't tried it yet. But it's probably like the other Instagram schedulers, I'm assuming, where it really gives you like, you set it up in there and then you can go, it'll like remind you, it pops, like will pop up on your phone and then you push it. But it's nice to have a place where you can do it on, like I like to do stuff on my desktop. I work better on my desktop than on my phone, to be able to type it all out and all those hashtags and everything there and then push it over.
Yeah, no, totally. I totally get that. I don't use my phone very much at all. Anyways. So people ask a lot of questions about your strategy and then money. So if you would like to start with strategy, and I know in earlier threads, we talked about how there's the strategy of growing followers and there's the strategy of growing engagement on your board, on your boards, and then also of sending traffic to your websites or to eBay or to whatever. So, and I know those are three kind of different strategies. So I don't know if you have like an umbrella theme or if you want to delve into any of those specifically.
I'll do the easy one first. As far as engagement on my boards, I can't. I would love to, but I can't because I like my notifications, I can't even keep up with them. It's like as soon as I go on there, it's like 1,000 notifications, which is a happy problem. That's great. But I can't go, like I don't answer comments and stuff like that. I don't read them. I mean, and honestly, I don't think that's really what to me, what Pinterest is about. That's Facebook, that's Instagram, Pinterest is my bottom line goal is driving traffic. 100%. It's driving traffic. It's great. And I love that my Pinterest followers are growing. And I'm a huge numbers nerd and I love the numbers. So every week when I get the little thing where it says how many repins you got that week, in your email, I save that every time and I compare it to the same time the year before to see how I'm doing. So I definitely, I really live for the numbers and I follow the numbers and I'm obsessed with the numbers, my analytics and whatnot. But I don't really, bottom line is traffic. It's driving traffic to my site and driving traffic to the sites of the people that I work with. And my partner bloggers, people who are my tribes and whatnot. It's how can I get the most traffic to me and to them.
I love that. Love that. So your goal is traffic. And so then are you worried about your numbers in Pinterest overall or not really? As long as you're sending traffic.
I mean, if I started to see my numbers, like my followers plummeting, I would be in a really cranky mood for sure. And, my repin numbers too, I mean, because that all translates to traffic then. If your repin numbers are down, your traffic's down. And quite frankly, my repin numbers are way down from last year at this time. And my traffic's way down from last year at this time. I know a lot of people have complained that traffic has not been what it's used to be. And, you get it's the summer and all that, but, when I compare my numbers, I'm comparing to the same time last year. I'm not comparing to December, I'm not comparing to October. I'm comparing to, August 17th and seeing how my traffic was on August 17th. And I know for me, my traffic is down.
Okay.
Regardless of my number of followers. And, my Facebook numbers are way up from where they were this time last year too. And my traffic is still down.
Oh, really? Okay. I hadn't noticed. Yeah, for me, Facebook has gotten a lot bigger, but I have noticed that my small posts on Facebook, this is off topic, small posts on Facebook have the same reach as like my duds have the same platform no matter what the size of my page is. So that's kind of interesting, but that's off topic. So we're supposed to be Pinterest today. Oh, you're good. You're good. So she'll be back in a second.
Yep, here I am, sorry.
You're fine. You're good. So engagement. So now, what do you do to drive traffic? Or do you have any like strategies that you do to get the most of your time?
I mean, really, it's repinning those popular pins.
Okay.
I mean, those are the ones that have, you know, like those posts that have, you know, gone viral for you and have done well. It's doing what you've done well, do more of it, and that begins with your, you know, your popular stuff. And that's not to say that like for a while, new stuff wasn't taking off. At the beginning of the year, it's like I was like, why am I even creating content? Because nothing I do is getting anywhere. But I've really seen a change with that, and my new stuff is starting to take off. It just takes a little longer sometimes, and it takes repinning it kind of a bunch of times, you know, over and over, you know.
So you repin your own a few times to give it that juice?
Absolutely.
Or do you have like a tribe that does that for you?
I mean, I have a tribe too that, you know, that does that for me as well. But, you know, from Pinterest, absolutely. And the more people you can get to repin it, especially right when it goes out, the better it's going to do. You know, Pinterest wants to see that it's coming from a lot of different sources, and a lot of people are all of a sudden pinning this stuff. But, you know, I have the advantage of having a big following that I can give it that first initial bump.
Yeah.
But you know, back in February, those bumps, I wasn't getting those bumps. Those bumps have been back a little bit, which is great.
That's awesome. That's great. So that's your strategy, is just to repin what works, what does well. Now, for a new post, you say you ask if like you get it started at the beginning, you juice it for a little while. How many pins does it take to you think to get it onto Pinterest's system?
I mean, I really couldn't even tell you, Rachel. You know, I'm constantly repinning my old pins, you know, my old content over and over. I mean, I'm going through my old, you know, Halloween stuff right now, and I'm actually doing it in two different ways. I'm going back to the old posts and I'm making new pins. And then I'm going and searching my pins up in Pinterest from, you know, I'll go Princess Pinky Girl and, you know, Halloween, and I'll look at my old pins and repin those as well. Now, something that I also like to do is I like to repin my stuff that other people have pinned.
Oh, smart.
You know, I'll find a pin that has done well that, you know, Smart Schoolhouse maybe went and pinned for me. And, you know, it got, you know, a couple hundred repins on it. So I'm going to go repin that, because Pinterest seems to like when I do that I'm pinning from someone else, even though it's my own content. And Board Booster actually has a report that I requested from them, because I did this all the time. It's called a third-party viral report. And Dennis, if you're listening, I really would love you to rename it the Jennifer Fishkind Report or Princess Pinky. So it's a third-party viral pin report, and it pulls up like your 250 most popular pins from your website from other people. So I'm going to see those, you know, all those pins that have done well from my site that I didn't pin. And I'm going to go and I'm going to periodically go onto that report and repin those onto my boards, because they already have juice behind them, and they have juice from somebody else as well, which is like a double, like, good thing.
Nice hug, yeah.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
Pinterest dust. I call it the fairy dust for Facebook posts.
Right. They don't want you to repin your own stuff so many times, although I do. But, you know, you get a little reward because it's from someone else sometimes.
Great, good to hear. Okay, and then the next on the thing was affiliates, or how do you make money off of Pinterest? Now, you said you did eBay. What else do you do to do money off of Pinterest?
I mean, I do. I work with Reward Style.
Okay.
So I pin from there. You know, I also, you know, work with them. You know, I do stuff on Facebook as well. But, you know, it's what's important when you're doing affiliates, and it depends on, you know, the list of affiliates that you're working with. The big box ones are always your best bet. And, you know, that's, you know, the Nordstroms, the Walmarts, the Targets, the ones that, you know, that have big cart potential. And it depends on what your affiliate agreement is. You know, if it's, you know, if it's, you know, whatever that, you know, the link that you put up there, if you put a link for this beautiful necklace, if I drive people to Nordstrom, you know, to look at that beautiful necklace, through at least through my affiliates that I work with, it's the whole cart. So it's if they buy that, you get commission. If they buy something different, they get commission. If they buy that and something different, you get commission. So it's important to know what you know the deal is with whatever affiliate you're working with. But for me, it's just important to drive people to the site. They might say these, you know, these Jimmy Choo shoes are just really expensive. I would never spend that. But oh, look in the suggestions, there's a pair of, you know, Nine West that are really cute too, and quite a, you know, difference in price. So they buy those, and I get commission for that. So with coming up, you know, with the holidays coming up, and now Pinterest allowing the affiliate, you know, links again, that's what's important, is getting those links out there early, and as many as you can, so that, you know, people that those are out there and living and repinning, and you know, the great thing about, you know, Pinterest is those links don't go away. So I'm getting affiliate, you know, I was actually just on my reports, I'm seeing affiliate money from pins from 2 years ago still.
Wow, that's awesome.
So, you know, somebody is searching for, you know, a little black dress, and it came up high in the search on Pinterest, and they click on it, it still has my link in there. Mm-hmm. So start right now is when, if you're thinking about doing affiliate links, is starting thinking about that now for the holidays, and also including those, you know, those links in your blog posts. You would be amazed with how much I've made off of, you know, Amazon links in my blog posts. I mean, I did, you know, a couple videos that went viral last year. One being I did a Jolly Rancher shot glass.
I remember that.
And I also did, you know, this peppermint candy spoon mold. And those two products literally sold out at Amazon. And like they emailed me and said, would you please let us know if you're doing anything like that again, so we can make sure we have enough stock. So, you know, putting those things in there, but people also clicked on the links for the Jolly Ranchers. You know, like just go to Target and get them, but no, they're going to get it all at Amazon, so they don't even have to think about it. Yeah. So I pretty much will link anything I can in my post now, and am shocked with what people will buy.
Yeah. I love that. Absolutely love that. So now, is there a secret? Like, I know on Facebook, white background images do not do well for affiliates. I mean, mind you, I still put them up, so you're going to see them on my page. Right. But I know that the more authentic images tend to do better. Is there like a secret to the affiliates that do better on Pinterest?
You know, I would love to say there is, but right when I think I figure it out, I'll put up a different one, and it'll do great. So, you know, for a long time, it was just the product. It wasn't, they didn't want to see the picture. Mm-hmm. And it was just the products that did well. You know, then it was the more magazine-y pictures that did well. So I personally think that the products do better on Pinterest than the magazine issue pictures, because those magazine-y issue pictures, I find, while they may repin well, they don't get the click-throughs as much, because people are like really more like, especially if it's a fashion thing, they're looking more at the, you know, the outfit and how they're putting it together, but not necessarily thinking, oh, I can go buy that handbag, you know?
Yeah.
Picture of the handbag. So, you know, there's no rhyme or reason to it. I mean, I've sold on both of them. You just got to see what your audience responds to better. I know for me, sometimes, you know, I'll go into the blog section of a retailer and I'll pin from there, because I'm still getting the affiliate link on there, even though it's in their blog section. It might be like a recipe, but then people might go and check that out, and then they're, oh, I'm on Williams Sonoma, I didn't even realize it, and go buy something.
I like that tip. Okay. Well, let's see what the rest of the questions that they had. Group boards. Oh my, group boards. I remember that I left a bunch of, about the same time that the board booster fiasco was, I left a bunch of the group boards because, well, I got kicked out because I was spamming them with 1,500 million links. Totally deserved it. Totally deserved it. It was the worst. I set board booster up and did not know what I was doing. Anyways, so board boosters or group boards for me were a problem, and we fixed that. But now, is there a strategy for group boards now that can help people?
I don't do a ton of group boards.
Okay.
I really don't. I'm on a couple of them. I left any ones that were really big. As far as like number of bloggers on there, because I think that, and this is just my own, I have nothing to back this up. I just think that there's more potential for being marked as spam on those, because you never know what other people are going to put on those. Mm-hmm. Also, your stuff just doesn't get seen.
Yeah.
So I know for my group board, I have a group board called the Top Pinned, mm-hmm. and I cut that in, I think, half. And I stopped taking new contributors to it.
Okay. Well, thank you, because I think you let me stay. Not positive, but I'm pretty sure you did.
No, I did. It was a while ago.
You're so sweet to let me stay.
I love you. I kind of kept the people that I personally knew and knew put good content on. And I also went on to Board Booster. There's a group board manager on there to look to see how people were performing on there. Mm-hmm. And you can see like the average number of repins that each contributor gets, and the number of duplicate pins they're putting up, and how many they're doing on average a day, so that I knew if they were sticking to my rules, which, I have 3 pins a day, no affiliate links. I don't have a rule about duplicate pins, but I don't want a ton of duplicate pins on there.
Yeah.
So I cut a lot of people, and I got a lot of unhappy messages.
Well, no, but that makes sense though, because you want to have, so this is for us, if we're picking a group board that we want to be part of, or if we own a group board, we want to make sure that we don't have lots of duplicates, limit affiliates, and then you said
number of pins per day.
Number of pins per day, so that way it's quality stuff only.
Right, and it's a great tool though to see like one, I don't want people who aren't effective on my group board, who aren't getting good repins, because that brings the quality of the board down. But as a pinner also, it might not be a good fit for you.
Yeah.
So, do you want to be on a board that you're not getting good repins on, So it's really a win-win. It's a great tool. I don't look at it nearly as enough, and I really should go look at that again. But I went and I sorted it, and I had a number in my head, and I said, okay, any person who's, one, putting, well over the number that they're supposed to, I'm sending a little note to. I did, and I got some nasty notes back from it. Anyone who is getting less than X number of repins, I was, going to remove as well.
Okay.
A good fit,
And if you have a board that, I noticed this with mine, that if I'm having ones that are being repinned or already have a lot of repins, it kind of helps that Pinterest juice stay on that board. So my board tends to grow if it's getting quality pins, and if it's not quality pins, the board dies.
Right. So it's kind of better for everyone, especially being the board manager. You want it, like, why would you want people who are bringing it down? I mean, it sounds a little harsh and maybe not nice, but it's your board. It's a reflection of you. So you want to make sure that you're not just putting anybody on there who wants to be on there. But I personally, before I closed it, would go check out every person who asked to be on. I would check out their board to make sure, and their blog, to make sure that it was stuff that I wanted on there.
That's a good thing to know too. I'm going to head over to the Facebook group, because I see there's only 4 people on, but maybe if you guys have any questions that we haven't thought of. I think I finished everything on the list from people's questions. Other than board organization, or did we cover that already?
Board organization?
Like how to organize your boards.
Yeah, I don't really do that so much.
Me, yeah. So stop on by the group and see if you guys have questions, and then we will, we'll wrap it.
My boards are.
Yeah, mine are a little bit messy too. I'm looking right now if they have any questions that we haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah, I try to put my more popular ones at the top, but beyond that,
yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody wants to know how to increase the number of followers. Like if they want to increase fast, what's their fast growth track? Do you have a fast growth track?
I have a second site called the 11 Best.
I've seen that.
Yeah, that's Kelly Dixon from Smart Schoolhouse and I. That's our site. And we started it last June. slowly we're starting on Pinterest. I want to look because we've done, I mean, we pin pretty regularly to it. And it's had some decent growth on it. And we're at 50,000 followers right now on that one.
Nice.
Which, you know, I'm pretty happy about that. That's, you know, and that's in less than a year. And, you know, we just pin regularly to it, and we really only pin our own stuff to it right now. We're not really pinning other stuff onto it, but we're we still go to the same thing where, you know, we're repinning things that are doing well, and continually repinning things that are doing well. This was a fun one for me because it was kind of like starting over again. You can see we only have a couple boards, and if you go on it, and you know, we could be very specific and kind of use what we've learned. You know, as far as like board names, don't get creative with the names. You want to say it like it is, because that's what's going to be searchable. So, you know, rather than saying, you know, something cute and clever, just say it like it is and say what it is. And, you know, have good images, you know, on your board covers, and, you know, repin often on it and keep them active. You know, one of the strategies behind the 11 best was that, you know, people are searching, you know, continually for the best this or that, you know, and so we wanted to make sure that that's in all of our you know, our descriptions on our, you know, every pin we do. You know, it'll say, you know, strawberry poke cake and the 11 best other, you know, and the other 11 best, you know, poke cakes.
Yeah.
So I think that's why that one's been doing pretty well, and I'm pretty pleased with that.
You're only pinning your own stuff on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and you're still able to grow it just pinning yours.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, granted, you know, Kelly and I are both pinning from that site as well.
Yeah.
So I think that goes to the fact of having, like, where the tribe is really important, other people pinning, you know, pinning from your Pinterest. So I'll pin from the 11 best page, Kelly, the 11 best page, but that's the same as having a tribe and having people pinning, you know, not pinning necessarily only from your site, but pinning, you know, your popular, you know, pin URLs as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, totally. Now, a friend of mine told me that what she does is she sends traffic to Pinterest too. She thinks that helps. Do you think that helps at all?
Like sending traffic to Pinterest, like through like Facebook and stuff?
Her blog post, her lead image on her blog post link back to her original pin. So that way when someone clicks on her main image, that they get her main pin.
Yeah, I've never done that. It's kind of smart. Yeah.
So I wasn't sure if that's a strategy that could work. I
haven't used it, but I listen, you know, we got to be creative and we got to keep trying different things, you know, if whatever works. But I will say, share your Pinterest URL with other bloggers and ask them to repin that URL. Okay,
cool. Have you done that with your Facebook page at all? Have you ever pushed a new pin out by putting it out on Facebook and saying, here's the pin? Has that worked for you at all?
It hasn't worked for me. I used to do that. It hasn't worked for me, but I know there's others who do that all the time. They'll put on Facebook, here's the recipe, here's the pin. I mean, I do wonder how that works, if it's been successful for people, but it didn't work for me.
Okay. Is my sound being funky for you now too?
No.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay. Mine's like having this funky buzz thing, so I'm not sure if my...
No, it's all good.
Okay, good. Well, thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate today, and thank you for telling us all about how to become the princess of Pinterest.
Oh. So fun.
This has been fun.
Thank you for having me, and I'm always open to questions, and, you know, but I'm just going to say it again. Do what's find something that's working for you, find a strategy, try it, and as soon as you start to see a little success with it, just do that more.
I love it. That's simple and doable. Okay. Well, thank you, Jennifer.
All right. Thanks so much.
Bye.